I think we have a date tomorrow. I think we have a date tomorrow at 8. And I got some video ideas, so we have reasons to see one another. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I seen that. We got a clip. Amon talking about we going very beach. Yeah, because I kept seeing people talking about it. I'm like, well, what's going on? What's going on? What today? He's 38 old. Yeah. I just found, not years old, no. I just found out I'm 39. I had a birthday today that I didn't know about. Yeah, I did not know I had a birthday today. Yes, I did. I was talking to somebody I used to deal with back in the day when I was young. I'm not a kid anymore. And he was telling me my age, and I was telling him that wasn't true. And y'all know I always used to be funny, like, I'm done having birthdays. I'm done having birthdays. And I guess I believed my own hype because I literally thought I was 38. I turned 39 today. Girl, when I say I had a nervous breakdown, I really did. I lost a whole year of my life. I'm arguing this man down, and then I remember my cousin called me the other week, like a week or two ago, to go off on me and pop his little shit on me that he wanted to dump on me. He was telling me that my sister age was so and so, and I'm like, that's not true, because me, all my sisters and brothers, we all was born in odd years. So all of us, every whatever year we have an even number, all of us have even numbers. Whatever year we have odd numbers, we all have odd numbers. So I'm just knowing we all supposed to be even because I'm 38. I'm not fucking 38. Who the fuck knows? When I say I lost a year of my life, I mean and just talking to him, and just you can talk about what's going on with you to somebody, but if they don't know you or don't know you personally or don't know your family personally, like he don't know my family personally, but I've been knowing him since I was like 21, 22, something like that. Or we start fucking around when I got like 27 or 28 or something. So, we rehashing the past. I remember when you lived in this apartment and that apartment, and all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, I remember you took some bad dope and went crazy, you know. But no, this really happened. This the guy who we used to always go to movies together. So, you know how you thinking about a person and looking them up on whitepages.com, and so I like found his email and sent him my number. So we had talked or whatever. So today we talked. We video chat the other day for a minute, but today we went up. We talked all day for real. So I literally forgot. He like, your age don't make sense. It don't line up with your year. Like, I know how old you are. I'm like, no, you don't. I know how old I am. Girl, who knew? Next year I'm gonna be 40 years old. But like I said, I guess I believe my own hype. And not that I'm disappointed about being 40. I'm disappointed because I really literally lost a year of my life. Like, damn, I was crazy for real. I'm so glad I'm getting my mind back and just getting over this shit. Like, that was traumatic as hell. I'm like, oh my God, I really did go fucking crazy. You know, 'cause I was talking to my sister. She was making it seem like I really didn't have no nervous breakdown. Bitch, I did. I just didn't have to get hospitalized. Because whatever I do, I'm going to do it how the fuck I want. I'm going to do it with grace and style and with some motherfucking sense. Whatever that is. But shit, bitch went crazy. When I say, I swear to God, on me, on my kids, I straight thought I was still 38. And when I looked at my paperwork for that charge, this pending charge I got, the paperwork said 39, and I'm so fucking crazy and delusional. I'm thinking they got the paperwork wrong. Crazy. I'm like, they hating on my age because I look young. What's the fucking year? Just being fucking delusional and crazy. It's just like we really feed our own delusions. I swear to God. We do it. We do it. We feed our own delusions. We don't need no help being delusional. I swear to God, I didn't even know I was 39. I swear. That whole year last year was so fucking chaotic and crazy. And I remember when I had a calendar, like I put the calendar up in my room. I don't know. One day maybe we'll do a tour of my room, but y'all don't care nothing about my room, and it's fine. It ain't nothing. But I bought a calendar for 2025 and had all this little cute stuff. So what I did, because I'm like, I'm not buying no calendar this year. I got a calendar. I got a calendar. I'm not buying no calendar. When I move, I got a calendar. Because I moved in here December. My dumb ass not tripping off of it. I found my calendar. I ain't look at the year or nothing. So I'm like, I got a calendar. But something at the I'm at Dollar General. I'm like, girl, get you a calendar. Because by the time you unpack all these boxes, it ain't going to be the calendar. So the calendar I had was for 2025. So I'm like, damn, I'm glad I bought a calendar. This shit is not even registered that a whole year went by. When I say I was in 4 states last year, I was in 4 states last year. Because then I went to go see my cousin in Texas. And St. Louis is in Missouri. And the place I had found was in East St. Louis, which is in Illinois. And then Tennessee, and then now where I'm at now. But Illinois and Missouri really don't count. That's still 1 state for real. So technically 5, but still 4, because St. Louis and St. Louis, it's just a bridge. It's just a bridge between Missouri and Illinois. But when I say disassociating yourself from your reality, I didn't even realize I was 39. He was talking about life path numbers and all this stuff. So he like, what year you was born? He like, if you 38, you had to been born in 88. I'm like, no, I'm 87. Then it dawned on me. I'm like, if this 6 and next year 7, damn, I'm gonna be 40 next year. He like, duh, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm literally on the phone in shock. Like, I did not even realize I lost the whole year of my life. Girl, I'm telling. That's why I was like, I'm so glad my sister called me, and I'm so glad. I've been bitching about this for like the last 3 days. But still, I'm just so glad she called me to try to discredit me and what I'm going through and what I've been through. And I'm just glad I talked to him like, bitch, you was really going through it. He like, I don't believe all that. I'm like, yeah, it's like that. He was like, it just don't sound like who I know. I'm like, well, I'm not that lady no more. That woman gone. That girl gone. When I say you got to face your issues head on, it might be hard as a motherfucker. But if you ignore them and they come sideways, you just don't know what them effects might look like. Like I faced my head on and it still didn't land perfect, but my kids did. Because if I would just ignored it and kept going like shit was okay, I was gonna crash and burn. I still crashed, but I didn't burn. I don't know if my old videos will help y'all or not, or if they too fucking hard hitting, but when I say I was really on the healing journey, I was on the healing journey. And I don't know if any of my videos still pop up in the algorithm or what you're struggling with, but hopefully everybody's doing okay and well and, in good mental health and emotional health. But if you are not, please take a trip down on my channel. And not for the views or because it's serious. Mental health and emotional stability is dead serious. And like, I just I just don't wish nothing to happen to me on nobody. Because when you push it off and ignore it, it come up and show up in dangerous ways and self-harming ways where it's not direct self-harm where you're cutting yourself or using an eraser, but it can look like promiscuity. It can look like drinking. It could look like drugging. It could look like constantly picking the wrong partners. It could look like unprotected sex. It could look like all of these things where you're trying to self-destruct and trying to hurt yourself, but your subconscious is, but consciously you're not tripping off that you're making these bad decisions because you want to hurt yourself. And the best thing to do is avoid it at all costs and crowd for help. Somebody will help you. Whether it's forced help or willful help, I don't know. But like even with my son, I knew that I wasn't gonna be okay. I contacted his dad, and that's where he at now. Do it hurt that I can't see him? It hurt every day, but I know that was the best thing for him, for me to get myself together. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Not with people at work or nothing, but even at your church. Hey, I'm going through. Please pray for me. Go up to that altar if y'all believe in God. Go get that prayer. When I went to church, if I felt like I need to walk up to that altar and get prayer, I went. If you got to go to see a counselor through your job, go. If you got to crowd to your friend, crowd. They might not be able to do nothing. They might not be able to help, but at least if something happened to you or you start falling, somebody be there to catch you, or at least they'll understand why, or you had already told them that, hey, I'm going through, I'm really might be in a crisis and I need help. Even if you got to check yourself in the damn hospital for a night or two, go to the place. If you got to take your kids to a little crisis thing or to your mom or whatever, hopefully you have those resources, you know. Because when I was in the thick of it, I remember one summer, my mom was like, I'm not keeping your kids this summer. Okay. I rolled right down on her ass. Girl, please. I'm in a whole crisis. And that summer really literally went by in 2 weeks, felt like. If you're in a crisis, cry out for help. Let people know what's going on. Yeah, you might look weak, you might look vulnerable, but if your shit start falling and crashing down, at least they kind of know what's going on before you in the middle of it and just look like a fucking psychopath. Because all the shit I went through, everybody knew it was coming because I was telling people that I was not okay. So when it came, it wasn't just, it was shocking because of who I am and how I always was able to be there and be this and be strong. But it wasn't shocking too because I was warning people and I was telling people. Now, whether I felt like they should have did this or that or the other, that's so besides the point. Go get some help. Go get some fucking help. And of course, this is not everybody, but this just is for anybody who feel like your life is spiraling, and you know it's spiraling. But the best thing is out to make a clean escape. Like I knew I didn't want to get evicted from my place. I knew I couldn't keep paying all them bills. I knew I couldn't keep paying all them credit cards. I knew this. So I got out that high ass apartment because I knew they was gonna go up on my rent. And when I checked that rent later, that place was listed for 15.75. You think I was gonna be able to pay that shit? I could barely pay what I was paying. So I made a clean escape. Then I had found a place in East St. Louis. That place didn't work out because it was the fucking trap and it was a badass neighborhood and wasn't shit there and the house was fucked up and it was just I couldn't live like that. And then actually it didn't come with a stove or a refrigerator. How didn't you know? Because I looked at it online and wanted to move right into a place and I didn't see it in person. Was it stupid? Yes, it was stupid. And then I left that place. But it wasn't for me to stay in St. Louis or near St. Louis anyway. But still, make a plan. And especially if you have children. Especially if you have children. Especially. Ain't nothing wrong with reaching out to an old contact. Because like even now, if I go back to St. Louis, I do have an idea of where I could stay. But I don't know what y'all relationship is like with past people you know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going back. But just in case of emergency. But it's still like if you need help, cry out for help. Nothing wrong with telling people what's going on. Because when you spiraling, you won't look psychotic. They'll just say you look crazy or you going through it or whatever this looks like. But for me to forget a whole fucking year of my life, which I'm trying to forget anyway, But it's just like, even like I was having nightmares and shit. They definitely lightened up. They not as scary, you know. And I don't know what my brain trying to tell myself, but I hope I figure it out soon. But I really wish y'all the best, and I mean that's from the bottom of my heart. I just hope that if you're in a crisis or feel a crisis coming, because usually when a storm is coming in your life, you can feel it, and you know that you bracing yourself for that storm, or that you're not gonna be able to weather that next storm, or if it's just a regular storm that's in life and you can go through it fine. You should know yourself enough. The majority of my viewers is my age. I think it's what 34 to 45. That's my age range. So y'all should at least have some type of inkling, like that you're gonna quit your job or whatever, pay your bills up, save some money. If you feel like something is going on, because we are really living in a time that's crazy with all this stuff on the internet, with all this stuff going on in the world, gas prices, grocery prices. Save your money, prepare for whatever you think. Cause shit, the right heartbreak the wrong way might send a motherfucker spiraling. It just depends on what's your thing. Or sometime a death in the family can do it. Cause what did I have? I had 4 deaths in like 2 years. So you have to, and then not having a family and falling out with my family, and then not getting along with my kids, right? And this, you don't know what will send you off the edge, but if you know you finna hit an edge, or you feeling so much despair, or if you feeling suicidal, call the suicide hotline, or just get everybody to a safe place. Because if your children are safe, you're fine. You'll figure it out. You don't have children, I still would recommend trying to get yourself save money, talking to a therapist, reaching out to friends and family, or even, it might sound cheesy, it might sound corny, get online and vent. If you don't feel comfortable venting online, because people are scared to vent online, but really, if you just get online and vent, it's not like you're gonna go viral. You're not. You don't have to show your face. Now, if you start talking about trending events and trending topics, then that's a whole nother deal. But or go call the chat line. It might be corny. Talk to a stranger about all your problems and get it off your chest. They don't know you. You don't know them. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. It's very, very important. Very, very important. And even just for me to talk to him, he say he didn't have no bad dope. I think he had some bad dope. Or just that damn chemical imbalance because his mama was schizophrenic. So that shit was in his blood. Anyway, that shit really was just a fucking matter of time. But reach out for help. Get help. And even just talking to him now, and he talking about all these regrets and things he had in life. And the question come around why we didn't work out and all that shit. But that motherfucker, like I told him, you didn't want to be exclusive. You had your own life. Especially now in this world. The world is so crazy. Like if you don't protect your mental health, it's so worth it. It's worth it because you worth it. And be patient with yourself. Even like I'll be here every day, and I'm like, shit not going perfect, but I know I'm getting better. I feel myself getting better. My thoughts are getting more clear. I don't cry as much. I don't feel as much anger, but it does take work. And my life is not perfect, not by a long shot, but I feel myself getting better. And like I said, I didn't have to be hospitalized or nothing, but definitely a lot of drinking and smoking to cope. I think when I was in St. Louis, if I didn't have to go to work, I was drunk. Shit, if I didn't have to go to work, I was drunk. But I just wish the best for y'all. Because even just being on the internet these 5 years and just watching the amount of women who have disappeared and came back totally different, like, girl, what happened to you? Or even one content creator, she used to be in her kitchen recording. It was a nice little kitchen. Now she's sitting on something that looked like a bunk bed. And yeah, she say she doing natural hair, but she never did natural hair before. But she might be on a natural hair care journey, or she might be on a I don't have no money and all my money is going to wherever it's going to journey. And I'm not gonna judge it because some of y'all might know who I'm talking about with a bunk bed at the top. And I used to love this creator. Um, and like, could I watch her now? I could not watch her on no bunk bed. Now, is she in a shelter? Is she in a home? Is she in a rehab facility? I haven't the clue. And I'm not finna get on in her business and, but I wonder what happened to her life in these few years, or maybe this one year that I've been gone, basically, 2025. And I think a lot of black women went through it because of this gender war and just the realization of the black community and having to accept that you might never find love, that, your whole life might have really was a setup, and, you know, and really your destiny might have been to be a baby mama, regardless of what nigga you fucked. So, those are real hard pills to swallow. So like I said, I just seen more than a few black women on here who was on here creating, fine and normal and regular. Then next thing you know, they on some other shit, crashing and burning, sounding like a whole different person. So I don't want that for none of y'all life. Because I really do think black women are going through something that I didn't think it would last this long. But even when I was saying it back then, I don't know if I know that now subconsciously I knew that I was going through something. I knew I was going through something on the surface, but I didn't think my whole life would crash and burn. I didn't think it was that bad. But when I saw it that bad, I got my shit together so everybody could be cool, and I got my mind together so I would have to do what I had to do. So I think that's really about it. Cause I gotta leave this out. And I ain't actually just talk about it. I ain't really mad at my sister no more. That guy was done with memory lane. You know how memory lane do. Shoulda, coulda, woulda's, nevers. And don't worry because it wasn't supposed to happen. Shit. I'm just glad he was honest. It was nice to hear some honesty. But he was never a liar. But like he said, shit, you was grown. He was like, you was a grown woman. And he was older than me. I was like, I knew I couldn't do nothing with you. And like I talked to him, I knew you was acting like I was too clingy. I was like, it wasn't that you was clingy. It was just you was at my house. We hung out. We used to go do shit all the time, go out to eat, go to the movies and shit. But it got to a point like, yeah, you over here, but don't get too comfortable. You still ain't putting no money in my hand. Like I told him, I didn't know how to ask direct then, but that's what it was. Because the men who I did deal with, who did do shit for me, I really didn't have to ask them. They just knew I needed shit and did shit. Or if I mention it, they offering to help. You used to pay for us to go out and have a good time, but I can't have no good time if my lights off at home. Shit. And like I told him, when you got that damn check, your ass disappeared. And you ain't give me no fucking money. Cause I wonder what happened. And then, like I said, then next time I fucking seen you, your ass was crazy as a bitch. Crazy as a shit. I was looking at that motherfucker, he was talking all kind of crazy shit. I'm like, oh shit, he gone. This ain't even the guy I used to know. Like I told him, shit, we wasn't gonna make it anyway if your ass is finna have a psychotic break. And he was like, I never been in a relationship. And I was like, shit, that was on you. You just told me I was too grown for you, so you might have said, because like I told you, you're not an ugly guy. He didn't mind doing little shit for a woman. You always had a side hustle. The motherfucker never worked. He always was like a scammer, but still. Like I told, it was women who liked you somewhere. You just wasn't interested in investing in them. You just wanted to fuck them and keep going. So you can don't cry now about you ain't got nobody. You didn't think a woman was worth investing in. Like I told him, I couldn't be with you for real anyway. You didn't work a legit job and you stayed with your mama. So I didn't ever really respect you either, though. Yeah, we had fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go. If you want to take me out, I'm going out. I'm not gonna be like, no, you don't have a job. I'm not going anywhere with you. No, I'm like, come on, let's spend this money. I had a good time. He did. And to the real, buckle down to the real debt. Boy, I need money to run my household. You can't come over here eating and sleeping and shit. Like he was like, how many kids you got? I'm like, right, you never seen my kids. If you trip off of it, you never seen them. I didn't introduce people to my kids. And it wasn't nothing we could do. Because I knew you couldn't live with me. So it went as far as it was supposed to go. And we had a great time together. But, wasted his life. Doing what the fuck he wanted to. Scheming, scamming. Yeah, he was getting money, but never took out the time to get to know a woman for who she was. Never wanted the responsibility of having a woman. So now you look back and you can't think about nobody you love but me. Now you like, oh, I really loved you. Like I told him, I loved you too, but it was never going nowhere. And like I told him, I loved you, but you wasn't no love of my life. I wouldn't say that. Because he wasn't. I loved him for the good times we had, but not no love for real. I just loved the good times we had. Shit, I love all my hoes. I couldn't see myself being with that man. And like I told him, even when I kind of thought I wanted to be with you or be exclusive, you didn't want it. And if I'm not gonna present it to you, because if you want to be with me, you'll tell me. And you never made it exclusive, so I was never exclusive. So shit, fuck it. And the fact that you never had no relationship in your life, that means you had the problem. Well, women can do this. I said, no, men put women in relationships. Can't no woman tell no man he in a relationship, but a man could tell a woman and she'll agree. We go together. I want to be your man. I want you to be my woman. Women can't do that to men. Oh, okay. I'm listening. Right, because you know it's true. Like I told him, or maybe you was aiming too high for bitches who was way out your league and they wasn't fucking with you. They might do a little something, but they wasn't fucking with you for real. See, like I chased you. I had to wait 3 times. I seen you all the time. We were always meeting. You never gave me a chance. But I remember when you lived on the west side. Well, if you remember I lived on the west side and you came to my house, I gave you a chance. You didn't do shit with it. So I moved the fuck along. Then I sent them again when I lived downtown. You can come over, we could talk some shit. We could drink a little bit, whatever. Talk some shit and bye. You ain't got shit for me. Then the third time at my house, when I first got my first house, we started dealing with each other. What he was doing, taking me out, doing this, doing that. I chased you for so long. I was in love with you so long, but you never knew how to treat a woman. You ain't like, oh, well, you did this, you did that. It don't matter what I did, because at the end of the day, you just told me what it was. You felt like I was too grown and too old for you, like I was on my mature shit, which I was. I had kids. He didn't have no kids. I had kids. I had people to look after. I can't play riding around and getting it with you all day. I got kids. I got a job. I got to go. I can't play this shit all day with you. It was fun until it wasn't. Like I told his ass, you got that big ass check and your ass didn't give me no fucking money. Then you disappeared. What the fuck? Fuck that. You ain't giving me no money. Yeah, it's time to go. Whether he disappeared or whether I dismissed him. But more than likely, I think he disappeared because he had some money. And right after that, that motherfucker was high and dry and sprung out. Right after that. He got his own place though. Like I told him. At least you ain't depending on no woman. So that's good. But that motherfucker still screaming and scamming. Looking like he caught a lick all the time. He just always been like that. He don't want to work no regular job. He never did. Never did. He wasn't no dope dealer or nothing, but he was a scammer. As long as he paid rent, what the fuck can I say? Looking like yesterday. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. Now he reminiscing and thinking about all the bitches he fucked and why he didn't want to make nobody an honest woman. Get the fuck out. I don't care. You did that. I'm finna get off this phone and watch my little show. Y'all have a good day and a good night and a great Monday morning. And I hope that I'm ready to record tomorrow. I think I got enough ideas to throw some shit at the wall and see if something stick. Oh, I hope. Bye bye.